Paradigms and improbability. The human history as consensus presents it to us still today is full of paradigms or doubts, and that non-probability most often is politely and euphemistically called complexity. Geneticist David Reich is an important player in this field, simply because of his massive and long-term involvement with ancient DNA research all over the world. Someone else rewrite too complex or too patched human history. He is asking for someone else to rewrite this too complex or too patched human history, obviously because he thinks it should not be him to do so. Since he does not tell us the reasons, we have to respect his reasons, but it is obvious that one of the main reasons is not prejudicing the unique and ongoing ancient DNA research, nor the people and institutes involved. Keys on a golden plate. Instead, David Reich puts key elements and findings nicely, but still wrapped up, on a golden plate for others to grab and make good use of it. What geneticist David Reich really is asking for is that someone else rewrites the patched human history that is full of paradigms or doubts, that politely is called complexity, obviously because he cannot do it. Rewrite or patch on? The question is, will we work on rewriting human history as he suggests, and thrive and heal because of what we provenly can learn from and through the real history? Or do we instead add even more patches, which soon will be a symbol of failure of science and humanity? Hybrids of the original non-hybrid humans. One of the main items that David Reich has put for us on the golden plate is that we modern humans are hybrids of the original non-hybrid humans, just as the Neanderthals and Denisovans and many other archaics were. Further, we modern humans are not one hybrid, we are several hybrids. One of the many markers of us actual hybrids are Y-DNA haplogroups. These hybridizations are more recent and subtle, when compared with the hybridization that led to Neanderthals, Denisovans, and Homo erectus that came before. Hybrid on demand. That is because their purpose was quite different. The more recent hybrids were more to obtain flexible hybrids that can serve for agriculture, builders, and war. This while the Neanderthals and other archaics were hybridized to do the early and rough work that mostly involved mining, mostly somehow under the supervision of the non-mining classes of hybrids or non-hybrid humans. Ancestral markers, keys, and red flags. The clear ancestral markers of some of these much older hybridizations can be pinpointed down to today's well-known tribes in the Amazon forest, as well following the population turnover events outside the Amazon forest, into all other continents. Further, there is clear ancestral evidence for hybridizations, and of the locations it started and or passed through. All this is first of all fully negated by consensus, and in case of confrontation with facts, mostly hastily explained by consensus, with close to ridiculous, improbable and totally unscientific drifts and events that do not occur naturally and not even in hybridizations. Sustainability or challenges. For some, the peopling of the world with hybrids, that is confirmed by extensive and extremely advanced and checked ancient DNA research, looks as a complete success story. However, this ongoing history will not be a success at all in the long term, at least if we do not take action in time. This especially so when our hybrid DNA is not preserved the way the first hybrids were still well aware of, and practicing the preservation. Challenges and calamities. This is so because our activities were and still are unsustainable, and climate challenges, DNA degradations and their consequential calamities became more frequent, even leading us all 8 billion humans into the perfect storm that is ongoing, or rather unfolding and accelerating rapidly, but as can be expected once more negated. Disunification and lack of global direction and plan. Especially so with a lot of attention-catching distractions going on, with many of the ongoing distractions related to lack of unification and lack of efforts to global action with the objective to thrive and or solve our challenges. Voting for a party with certain promises does not equals a plan. As soon as you support a plan, and also demand that plan to be executed by your party, or else leave that party, is not the ideal yet, but comes closer to equaling to you yourself executing an action plan. We think that the actual political systems that run the world have proven to have little chance to be a good starting point for the combination of solving our challenges, to make us 8 billion humans thrive, and to achieve sufficient unifications, to be able to make it all happen uninterruptedly, this without a promising action plan that has the potential to find global support. This at least without an additional clear objective that could stimulate unification, especially through collective action, that clearly leads to positive results, like the by our channel proposed action plan, based on the sustainability successfully practiced by our ancestors. This would make us think and respect our ancestors, as well as the DNA they passed on to us, and perhaps this would make us understand we are one and the same, and at the end will share our fortunes and misfortunes, as well as our existence and extinction. To obtain global support, all modern humans need to understand the action plan, plus that it is promising, thriving and solving, including for all humans. The day all modern humans will understand the basics of the rewritten human history, they will also kind of automatically understand the action plan, because it is inseparable from the only period we humans thrived, were not in war and were not victims of health crises. Consequently, it is also obvious that it was very effective, and did make our ancestors thrive, as well as solve their eventual problems. The descendants of those that practiced this sustainable action plan have the best health and relative absence of degenerative diseases, this even today. Even while they were victim of systematic genocide, and were forced to leave their ancestral fertile lands in the Amazon forest, had substantial part of their collective knowledge destroyed, they still thrive in most senses that we modern humans got in collapse, especially in the last decades. Apart from our actual political systems, we think that also the actual consensus or the not rewritten human history is quite divisive and possessive, and not at all a good starting point for the combination of solving our challenges, to make us 8 billion humans thrive, and to achieve sufficient unifications, to be able to make it all happen uninterruptibly.